It's about peacefulness. It's about guidance. It's about a soft touch.
Oke, ngerti?
Enggak.
So if we are aware of our breath now and we are taking a deep one, and we are releasing all the air that we have.
Ya, makanya intinya dari obrolan kita ini sekolah supaya ngerti bahasa Inggris supaya kami berdua tidak capek translate
Iya,
ini.
itu dah
Karena
dia makanya.
translate-nya bingung. So stay tuned and wait for the premium help project.
I can help you.
Promote.
Iya, saya langsung bahasa Inggris ya.
Ya,
Kamu nggak sendiri, Dio Mukti di sini bareng Yaning. Tepuk tangan. Ini adalah podcast yang udah ada berapa bulan nih kita break, Mam? Sebulan ya. Kita udah sebulan break, tiba-tiba datang Yaning. Dan kenapa ada Yaning di sini?
Because you need me.
Yes, I need you because I can't speak English.
English.
It's English. Oke.
English.
Dan di edisi hari ini udah ya. Di edisi hari ini teman-teman kita kedatangan dua orang hebat karena yang satunya pernah mampir di podcast ya, di podcast yang lama ya. Nah, yang satunya juga ini seorang grandmaster
untuk nerve manipulation.
nerve manipulation.
Yeah.
Nerve point
Niko
manipulation.
dan Kak Ain. Tepuk tangan.
Yeay.
Saya mau nanya gimana kabarnya?
Ke siapa?
Ya ke Niko lah.
Oh, terus kenapa lihatnya ke sini?
Kan saya nggak bisa bahasa Inggris.
Oh iya.
Gimana sih?
Oh, jadi di sini tugasnya ini sebagai translator
Yes.
nih. Oke.
Oke.
So how are you?
I'm fine.
Really
Terima kasih.
Dengan suaranya lembut kan.
Wah,
Tergoda kan
Masya
udah kelepek-kelepek belum?
Aduh.
Udah. The things that I makes me like focus on you because your skin is really good.
Oh, terima kasih.
Dia bisa terima kasih. Syukur.
Terus apa mau nanya apa lagi?
Enggak, ini Kain gimana kabarnya Kain? Sehat ya?
Bernyawa.
Alhamdulillah. Kalau Kain bisa bahasa
bernyawa.
Indonesia jadi saya aman.
Iya, kita berdua biar mereka berdua ya.
Iya,
Oke.
ini kan pembahasannya juga agak berat ya. Kalau saya sempat nyari-nyari di riset dulu
Iya.
tentang nerve manipulation ini seperti apa. Sama nggak sih kayak same like chiropractic?
Different.
No, way different. Chiropractic is a hard form of manipulating bones.
It's a bones, tulang.
The nerve point manipulation goes to your softest and vulnerable part. So it's a lot about what's going on inside of you. So it can't be forceful. It always have to be soft. It always have to be in the right amount. So a little when it needs a little more when it needs a little more, a little less when it needs a little less. So it's about peacefulness. It's about guidance. It's about a soft touch.
Oke, ngerti?
Enggak.
Jadi beda.
Nah,
Kalau itu kan
beda, ya,
tulang.
beda.
Nah, ini tuh lebih ke syarafnya jadi lebih lembut gitu loh.
Jadi
Enggak yang kayak
Iya,
gitu.
kalau chiropractic itu kan dia lebih
Ya,
ke tulang.
ke
Kalau ini
abal-abal
kan,
lah gitu.
ya kalau kita kan kalau nerve kan nggak bisa kita tekan, nggak bisa kita pressnya. Kalau dia juga kan kalau untuk nerve manipulation ini kan ada 4 perkara yang membentuk ke nerve manipulasi. Seandainya kan ada bengkak atau luka atau infection atau inflammation gitu kan, dia itu tidak harus juga menekan di area itu, dia menekannya ke arah jalur saraf yang sama supaya bisa pembaikannya berjalan. Dan untuk pembaikannya juga kan melalui diet, pemakanan, lifestyle-nya itu juga harus diatur. Jadi dia beda. Jadi ini secara holistiknya itu lebih besar gitu, lebih meluas gitu.
Oh, oke. Tapi gini, kalau misalnya dari studinya apa? Apakah dokter juga atau gimana?
Okay, when you learn this, what do you learn? You learn as a doctor, or you learn the same way the doctor learn?
No, it was not possible to use the same way, because if I used the same way, I would become the same. So where's the difference? I was studying a lot of things. I was studying biology, physics, I was studying yoga, I was studying fighting sports, I was studying osteopathy, and I was studying pathology, so the medical field of illnesses. to understand how the body works. That's the thing. It's about understanding. I need to understand the human being in front of me to find the most effective way to get a solution out of his problems, doesn't no matter what.
Oke.
Oke, butuh ditranslate.
Ya butuh dong.
Ngerti nggak sih kayak sebenarnya tuh ngerti tapi mau jelasinnya tuh bingung kayak.
Iya.
Jadi dia tuh bukan mempelajari tentang kedokterannya, tapi dia tuh mempelajari banyak hal dari biologi, terus juga fisika juga, terus juga mempelajari berbagai sport supaya dia tuh lebih paham sama badannya
Anatomy
sendiri.
body
Jadi
gitu.
dia mengenali tubuhnya supaya dia bisa memperbaiki di tubuh orang lain juga kayak gitu mungkin ya intinya
Ya.
ya.
Tapi kan bukan juga dia namanya belajar sendiri lewat Google kemudian
Iya.
praktek.
Ya,
Tetap dia ke sekolahnya, tetap ke universitasnya, tetap dia ngambil pendidikannya. Cuma perbedaannya itu dia mengerti banget tentang semua tisu, tentang semua muscle, tentang semua saraf, tentang apa yang ada di tubuh badan manusia ini. Dia mengerti sehingga kita, kalau kita bisa memahami nerve manipulasi itu, kita bisa maksimiskan kemampuan kita. Kayak katalah kita tahu bagaimana kita bisa kontrol saraf-saraf ini. Jadi kalau kata kita mau berlari dengan laju, jadi kan kita kan mau pakainya saraf di kaki kan.
Iya,
Jadi
iya,
kan
iya,
tidak perlu kita memerah saraf yang lain menggerakkan. Jadi kita move to the specific place yang kita mau, itu yang kita gerakkan. Kayak Nico, kalau dia makan itu mungkin sehari sekali, kadang 2 hari sekali. Apalagi minum. Very rare to eat and to drink, you know. Very rare. Karena dia bisa kontrol. Kalau kita kan beda. Kita kan udah diajar dari kecil makan tuh harus 10 kali, 4
3
kali
kali.
gitu. Jadi kalau tidak makan 4 kali itu kita lapar. Padahal kan
Gemetar.
itu kan daripada pemikiran, bukan daripada nerve. Kadang kita makan sampai sakit perut. Karena body udah reject.
Oke.
Tapi karena kita udah kebiasaan diajar makannya berlebihan, makanya kita makan berlebihan. Kalau dia bisa kontrol. Dan sampai dia punya muscle kan. Dan kayak atlet angkat berat gitu kan, dia punya muscle. Dan dia bukan juga olahraga berat.
Bukan
You don't
nge-gym
go to
gitu
the
ya?
gym, lift up the weight all, right? No. But I think you have 8 packs. Yeah, 8 packs, whatever pack, ice pack, you know. Nah, but we cannot show lah, kan? Nanti jadi different thing. But you know, he can control the muscle of his body to tone, where to tone, mana yang harus dibentuk. He can.
Oh, I need that.
Yeah.
Especially for my belly.
Berhenti makan.
It's a good thing. It's to ask your belly what's going on, why it is like it is right now. I mean, we are using food for so many different things, for satisfaction, for family reasons, come together, join together, for celebration, for
anger,
For hobby.
for whatever. But when you go the way that I go, you concentrate on the most necessary part of it. So it has to feed my body. That's the only thing. Food is to feed my body. And if I just eat to feed myself, I do not eat so much.
Makan untuk hidup, bukan hidup untuk makan,
Ya,
kan?
ya,
Ada
ya,
kan
ya,
kata-kata
ya,
begitu kan?
Ya ada kata-kata kayak
Iya.
gitu. Tapi
Beda
benar-
memang prinsip hidupnya ini.
Iya.
Ya.
Kayak Buddha ya? Atau gimana kurang lebih?
Kalau meditation, I think reach to that level kan. Kalau kayak monk gitu kan bisa dia berhari
ya.
puasa gitu. Nah, in a way kan ada self controlnya juga. Dan dalam nerve manipulation juga, you say it's about self control and self
Consciousness.
ya. Untuk kesadaran diri itu kalau udah tahu udah kenyang ngapain dipaksa lagi, walaupun dari otak itu udah berpikir begitu. Nah, kalau dari dia kan bagaimana kita orang berpikir nerve manipulation ini harus dipulas-pulas gitu. No, it's not. It's about how you set the right diet, how you set the right lifestyle. If you have a pain, then bagaimana kita fix that tanpa yang dipijit. Dia tidak mijit. Dia hanya pegang di point mana yang pain. That's it. You know, tidak ada namanya dipulas-pulas yang kita harus teriak. Kalau tidak diteriak itu tidak membaik ke tangan itu kan, tahu kan? Nah, dia tidak, hanya just a little pressure aja, sedikit aja. Itu juga bukan tekan begitu, just a little bit only.
Oke.
On the right place, on the right spot.
Oke. Misalnya kalau kayak gini, saya sakitnya di punggung nih misalnya nih, punggung sama pinggang gitu ya.
Itu karena umur.
Loh, enggak loh. Saya sama Nico
It's a good question.
sama-sama lahirnya di tahun 89 loh, dia lebih fit.
Oh
Iya.
iya. It looks younger.
Yes.
Dia
I look smart.
Oke.
Sorry. Oke, misalnya kalau saya sakitnya di pinggang.
Yeah.
Nah, berarti yang ditekannya di pinggang.
no. He say like if he have a back pain, do you touch the back pain or you find where is the source of the pain?
In his example, it's not coming from the back. The back is just where the blood is stocking. So he has a problem with his diaphragm, especially on the left back part of it. So there's where the vein goes up to carry the old blood from the back muscles back to the heart. And if the old blood is stocking, they are producing a lot of milky acids, which is causing muscle soreness, and that hurts. That hurts a lot. So if you improve your breathing, or if I would touch your stomach to improve your breathing and your diaphragm, the old blood can go away. The acid level is going back to normal, and you don't have pain anymore. So there's always a different reason behind the problem.
Oh, berarti karena masalahnya darahnya nggak ngalir gitu
Iya,
ya.
dia macet.
Ya,
gitu.
makanya intinya dari obrolan kita ini sekolah supaya ngerti bahasa Inggris supaya kami berdua tidak capek translate
Iya,
ini.
itu dah
Karena
dia makanya.
translate-nya bingung ini.
Bahasa Inggris belajar ya kalian ya.
We are saying we both understand. To explain because you explain a lot. To explain to him is difficult. We tell him to go to school.
Yeah, but it's my fault. I need to learn Bahasa.
See, he will learn English.
Masa sampai begitu
Maybe we
loh
meet in the middle.
narasumbernya.
We meet in the middle.
I'm the best announcer in West Nusa Tenggara
Yeah.
2023, but I can't speak English.
Yeah, yeah. So
It's a what?
dia
What?
Weird.
Weird,
Weird,
yes.
yeah. So menurut dia kan dirimu sakit di belakang. The point bukan dari belakang, daripada depan, daripada apa nih ribsnya. Jadi kalau dia perbaiki itu darah lama yang ada di situ dengan acid levelmu akan turun. Bila itu akan turun, dia akan improve dan dia tidak lagi menyalurkan darah yang kotor atau yang block. Tadi kan block, enggak kesalur. Makanya itu jadinya sakit.
Oh.
Nah, jadi it's not necessary semuanya dari sana. Kalau dia sepanjang yang kita perhatikan, he mostly kan di bagian sini. Dia percaya di bagian perut ini harus perbaiki. Penghadaman tuh harus bagus supaya acid levelnya bagus, supaya liver kita tidak rusak atau apa. Semua itu naiknya dari sini gitu kalau dia.
Oh, balik ke makanan berarti ya?
Ya, lifestyle, balik ke lifestyle. It's not just lifestyle. Sekarang ini kan kalau kita bisa kontrol, kayak tadi kita sempat ngobrol, okay? We talk kalau apakah otak itu dia connect-nya ke saraf. So we are saying otak itu store informasi. Informasi in two way, informasi yang dapat dari luar, informasi yang dari badan, dan informasi yang kesadaran diri. Jadi informasi dari luar. Kayak orang tua kita bilang, oh harus makan 4 kali satu hari. Jadi kita itu udah kebentuk di dalam otak itu 4 kali, mindsetnya udah 4 kali. Sedangkan di saat kita makan 4 kali, perut sakit. That's mean body reject dong. Body, saya tidak bisa makan 4 kali. If I eat 4 kali, perutku sakit. Jadi dari perut itu ngantar lagi informasi ke otak kan. Penyalur informasi ini adalah di nerve itu. Nerve itu adalah penghubung informasi dua ini. Jadi dari otak yang menyuruh 4, dari badan yang bilang tidak bisa 4, bisanya cuma 2.
Oke.
Nah, kalau kita bisa ketemukan titik otak dengan titik yang informasi yang dapat tadi itu, berarti badan kita akan bergerak dengan lebih bagus dong. Tidak lagi sakit perut karena kekenyangan, tidak lagi kekurangan makan karena di otak berpikir wajib makan 4 tadi. Nah,
Alright. So it's about the mindset.
Yes, mindset.
Oke.
Iya benar sih kayak mindset ya. Kayak misalnya kita udah ngatur nih, kadang-kadang gini kayak setahu aku perut itu tidak memiliki sinyal lapar sama sinyal haus.
Yeah.
Rasanya sama aja.
Yeah.
Nah, kadang-kadang sebenarnya tubuh itu butuh air.
Yeah.
Tapi kita makan gitu.
Yeah. He say the same thing you say earlier, that the stomach doesn't have the signal whether you're hungry or you're thirsty. So sometimes even when you're thirsty, you eat, and you know. And Nico was explaining something because can we say he doesn't drink a lot, okay? Maybe he like us, we think we have to drink 12 glass of water, 1.5 liter, 2 liter per day. I think he drink maybe a glass of a
Water
day.
a day.
Dan for us, we must drink water kan. Pada dia, ngapain kamu minum plain water gitu? He have nothing. So better you drink something like juice that have more nutrition dalam dia gitu. So dalam dia mikirnya begitu. And you were saying about you need to, how many liquid that you do for pee? Why you not
Normally,
drink water,
you're
yeah?
losing 1.2 liters of liquid while you're with peeing every day. That's why the people are saying you need 2.2 liters, because 1.2 here, 500 milliliters of sweating makes 1.7, and 500 milliliters, about 500, by going pooping. So that makes a total amount of 2.2, 2.3 liters. And that's the normal amount that are people losing. That's what scientists figured out. But that's while they are doing and dealing with their normal habits. So if you do not lose that much, why should you put in
Replenish.
that much?
Oh,
Ya.
oke.
So kalau dirimu tidak pergi pipis 4-5 kali satu hari, kan tidak hilang liquid itu banyak-banyak.
Ya, oke,
Nah,
oke.
kenapa harus replenishnya banyak-banyak?
Tapi kan gini, kayak misalnya tadi ini secara kacamata orang awam ya, kayak misalnya kalau kita apalagi dengan orang yang beraktivitas hanya duduk saja nih, penyiar, announcer kan just
Sit.
just sit gitu
And
kan.
talks a lot.
Talks a lot, need the water, terus kan berpengaruh juga ke ginjal. Kayak gitu. Nah, itu gimana?
It's a mindset kan. What he has like him, he's a presenter. He sit all day long and he talk. You know, if he don't drink enough water, it will affect his kidney. So it's a mindset, right, Nico?
One point is a mindset. The other point is, what is the kidney doing? The kidney has to put out the toxins of your body, not the water. So if your kidney loses a lot of water, you should ask your kidney what's wrong with it. But you are sitting here in this room a lot with the air conditioned, so you're sweating a lot because the air is colder than your body temperature. So you have to produce heat against the cold, which is a little not that smart to face yourself all the time with the cold air, to sweat a lot just because of sitting, because you're not moving, you're not doing anything, as you said. So there is the problem. You are forcing yourself with a lot of cold air, which would make you move. Yeah, if you go to my country where it's cold in the winter, you will not stand around and freeze to death. You will move, and then you are producing heat. But if you are sitting here in the cold air, you are not able to move. So you are sweating and sweating and sweating and losing a lot of water. And if you don't drink, then it will affect your kidneys for sure.
See, surrounding.
Ngerti nggak nih?
Ngerti dikit?
Oh.
Jelasin dong.
Jadi kita tuh karena terlalu memaksakan diri di dalam ruangan ber-AC, tapi kan kita mau nggak mau harus terus di dalam ruangan itu kan, karena siaran, monitoring segala macam. Nah, jadi karena kita di dalam ruangan ber-AC, kita tuh terus berkeringat gitu, dan itu yang membuat kita jadi memproduksi keringat, dan jadi bolak-balik mau
pipis atau
Pee
apa itu kan
gitu.
kidney itu kan stres dia karena dia terlalu banyak berfungsi karena keringat tadi. Ibarat begini, tadi kita makan kacang peanut. Oke. Dan kan peanut kan ada khasiat-khasiatnya ya. Tetapi untuk kita mendapatkan khasiat itu body kita harus bekerjanya lebih kuat gitu. First kita harus ngunyah. Habis itu kita harus digest. Untuk mendigestkan kacang itu lama. Jadi sebelum kita create energi daripada kacang ini, itu kita harus bekerja dulu untuk createkan energi yang tadi itu. Jadi kenapa kita memilih makanan yang lebih sulit untuk dicerna, untuk mendatangkan energi tadi? Kan kita ada pilihan makanan yang lebih gampang untuk kita digest. Same, bila kita duduk kayak gini, kita ndak mau nih ginjalnya apa, tapi kita tidak bisa bergerak. Either kita reduce AC, ataupun kita pakainya yang lebih tebal supaya kita memproduksi heatnya sendiri tanpa harus bergerak. Karena kan kita tahu nih, sekarang kita pakai AC, so kita harus create heat. Bagaimana? Mungkin pakainya lebih tebal supaya kita tidak merasa dingin, supaya udah ada heat di dalamnya.
Oh, jadi menyeimbangkan suhunya gitu.
Jadi kalau ini yang kita pilih, keseimbangannya apa? Kalau kita tahu kita ada mah, ngapain kita milih makan chili lagi? Nah, kan itu kan pilihan gitu. Nah, if you can understand bagaimana segala-galanya bergerak dan menemukan, dengan mengontrol apa yang ada, kebiasaan, habit yang ada di otak, kita akan ketemu satu titik di mana apa yang ada, yang informasi yang kita dapat dengan bagaimana body kita bergerak itu bisa menyatu. Nah, kalau itu bisa, makanya kalau dia tidak perlu makan, masih hidup kok. Kalau orang bilang, kalau saya tidak makan, nanti anak ini tidak makan, mati dong dia. Enggak loh. Kan dia bisa berhari tidak makan. Minum juga bisa minimal. Tapi dia tahu body dia perlu apa. Perlu this nutrition, perlu this right liquid, perlu this right kind of food. Ini aja yang dia butuh. Dan dia juga makannya itu kan ada certain hour supaya bodinya bisa digest. Kayak tadi kita pergi lunch. Dia tidak makan. Okay? Because pada dia, kalau dia makan sekarang, body dia itu harus mengeluarkan energi untuk mencernakan makanan ini. Dan dia nanti akan jadi capek. So, he choose, dia akan makan setelah, after we finish, later on maybe he will take a bite. Ataupun lepas sunset. Di waktu badannya tidak harus working, tidak harus beroperasi. So, he will do that then, bukan sekarang.
Bukan before ya.
Iya, berarti sama kayak apa intermittent sih?
Intermediate
Kayak puasa.
kalau intermediate fasting itu kan orang, you know the intermediate fasting, is that good?
In a certain way, it is good when it's not for you about the hours. If you just follow a timeline, it's not connecting yourself with yourself. It's connecting yourself with your watch or your timer. It's not about intermediate fasting. It's more about giving myself the ability to digest well, to have time to digest, to eat well when time is coming to eat. And if you look into the human being, there's nothing that forces you to eat now. There's nothing that forces you to eat in the next 24 hours or 72 hours. You will not die. And if you eat then and you give your body the nutrition that he needs, you will continue to live. So it's possible. But if you always eat the whole day, you're forcing your body to digest fast. So you are not getting out so much nutrition.
Make sense ya?
Ya,
now make sense ya.
Masuk akal.
Ya.
Mulai dah nih,
Mulai bisa bahasa Inggris maksudnya.
Tapi kan sempat itu ya, coba aja fasting itu ya. Berapa hari kan kita fasting kan badan kita pasti light ya. Terutama intermediate fasting itu ya, yang sampai 18 jam gitu. Terasa tuh bodinya ringan dikit gitu loh. Dan rasa enakan. Nah, kemudian kita balik lagi makan kayak
Tapi dulu, nah ini pengalaman ya. Dulu saya tuh ngelakuin itu dulu, ada namanya dietnya OCD. Tahu OCD?
Oh ya, OCD ya.
OCD-nya Deddy Corbuzier. Dia sama kayak intermediate fasting kayak gitu. Dan saya menerapkan itu, tapi memang itu tubuh saya fit, muscle saya tumbuh karena saya juga olahraga. Dan itu saya rasakan bedanya gitu. Tapi setelah lepas itu ya
when you stop.
Iya. Maksudnya ini kan kayak yang dilakukan sama Nico ini kan kayak sesuatu yang berkelanjutan.
Iya.
Iya, kayak gitu. Udah berapa lama seperti ini?
Nico, how long you been doing this since young, right?
I think you don't need me. Okay, I'm
Explain.
No, it's okay.
I mean, I started with the age of 8 that I was curious about the highest being, what we call Samadhi in yoga. I was curious about what's physical possible to have, what's mentally possible to have, how smart you can be, how many books you can read in a year. I figured out for myself it's 360 that I'm able to read at 1 year. So I can get out a lot of information. But after I did this for a few years, I figured out there are not so many books. There are many books about the same team. There are different people writing about one thing, but at all, it's one and the same book.
Correct.
It's one and the same thing. It's one and the same thing. And it's not about what people are saying about it. It's how you are understanding it and what you're taking out of it. So for my body, one is the theory, but the other one is to practicing. And I also was growing up and they told me you have to eat a lot of proteins to build muscles, you have to do this and that and that. And it was hard to figure out the truth. But I have seen on them, they are losing. A lot of people look at the bodybuilders. They get heart problems, they get muscle problems, shoulder problems. They have pain. They have pain. So they are growing something that they are not able to give the nutrition to. So there's a problem in the liquid flow. So if you want to grow, you have to grow right. You have to grow in mind and body and soul. If you miss one thing, you're not good. You are not a whole cycle. And that's what I started in this age. But I was improving all the time, and I still improve. I still figure out what I can do and what I can't do. And if I figure out something that I can't do, I am curious why. And then I try to find a solution.
So where do we have to start?
Where you want.
Being more skinny?
If you want to be more skinny, then you might think about when do I eat and why do I eat. And maybe you stop eating for emotional things. Then you say, okay, when I feel sad, I do not eat candy anymore. I watch a nice movie.
Okay.
Or when I feel sad, I don't eat candy anymore. I see my best friend and I talk and we cry together.
So we should replace.
You should reorganize your lifestyle.
Okay.
So it's the choice that you make. If you choose to be skinny, to lose weight, then choose to eat a better type of food.
Other
Don't
type of
eat the
food.
candy. So if you want to build a muscle on your upper arm, don't work on your leg.
Yeah.
Then how can you get the upper arm right? Okay, so whatever is your aim, you can start anywhere. You know, it doesn't matter where you want to start. Kita bisa mula di mana-mana. Tapi apanya, do the right thing, the right spot. Jangan like, oh I want to be skinny. Apa itu jajan ya? Kayaknya ice cream ya, nice. Hari ini ajak sekali-sekali, besok kita mulai dietnya.
Diet start tomorrow.
Yeah, it's always tomorrow, it's never today.
Yeah. Oke. Poinnya di sini berarti kayak ya kita harus mengerti tubuh kita berarti ya, kebutuhan tubuh ya. Kayak kalau ini kan ada kayak kita harus menekan nafsu kita karena yang lebih banyak ini kan sebenarnya berperan ini kan nafsu kan ya. Nafsu. Jadi kayaknya kita harus lebih mengerti tubuh. Nah, nafsunya ini harus ditekan kayak gitu kurang lebih.
Dan kalau kata tentang stress atau tentang overthinking, Nico have the, remember you were explaining about the thyroid and everything to release the stress to make people more calm. I think he have the technique because I can say this because I experienced this. I cannot guarantee it happen to everyone, but I've been knowing Nico and we've been doing this for a while. He been helping me with my stress so much. So until yang dulunya if stress itu harus wajib itu mau mati dah gitu. Now even if it's stress, it's always a little bit more calm and it's always be able to think a better solution. Because if you calm, you can think better solution. If you're not calm, then how can think clearly gitu. Jadi he been helping me and not just that. Sekarang kan dia kan collab juga kan dengan sekolah yang aku punya.
Ya SLB.
Ya, jadi dia itu untuk anak yang ada ADHD, untuk anak yang ada autism, he can calm them, dia bisa calm them down. Hanya ada dia tekan beberapa saraf anak itu supaya anak itu tidak tensinya terlalu tinggi, hypernya terlalu tinggi. Anak itu lebih kalem daripada yang mulanya lari ujung dunia ke ujung dunia. Is kalem.
Anak saya itu.
Okay, so now Nico will explain yang tadi untuk reduce stress tadi. Yeah, the one that you talk about this.
If you made the thyroid, glandular thyroidea, it's a hormone producing something. So, but a hormone which is related to stress. And if you want to reduce stress here, one thing is to feel your muscles and to find a better position where you can feel that the tension is going, for example. The other thing is if you have this position, you can be aware of your breath. Because if we have a lot of stress, we are breathing about 15 times a minute. But we just need 2 or 3 breaths a minute. So if we are aware of our breath now and we are taking a deep one, and we are releasing all the air that we have, take a break in between, because there's no rush, there's no hurry for breathing. There's always air out there.
Di sini tidak bisa buka baju ya.
And just one of these breaths will take so much stress
Supaya
away.
bisa lihat perut itu sampai dia itu narik nafas tuh sampai tulang.
Ya, tadi kelihatan kok pas dia.
Ya. Jadi dia itu tarik nafas itu ke tulang, perut itu hampir tidak punya gitu.
Berarti nafasnya nafas perut atau nafas?
Is the diaphragm or the
Where do you take
stomach.
the air from the stomach or from the nose? Aku nggak ngerti.
taking up from the nose?
Maksudnya tarik nafas.
It does not matter if you,
How
if
you
you
breathe.
use the nose, if you use the mouth. The thing is that you should be curious about your breathing. Most likely we are full of air because we are afraid of not having enough. So we are full and we're just releasing a little. In the scientists, we know there's about 500 milliliter of air that we are using. We put away and we get it in again. But we are capable of 4.9 liters if we want. So that's 10 times more that you can release. And then you can fill it again. So if you have a full breath, you're telling your body that you have time to breathe fully. If you're in a hurry, if you run away from a lion, you're not breathing slowly, you're breathing very fast. And that's how stress is doing with us. Stress brings us to fast breathing, to slow breathing, to a heartbeat that is really high. And that's a waste of energy. That's a waste of lifetime. And if you calm down and down and down, you're clear in your mind, you're ready to observe life, to aim your goals and to go for it.
Oke.
Okay.
Oke,
the
tidak
post-
mengerti atau oke nih?
Ngerti maksudnya, ngerti.
Oke.
Paham.
Ya,
Coba
akhirnya.
saya bingung mau ke pertanyaan berikutnya apa.
So, is it really affected to how we sit? I mean, for the peace in our life. I mean, like the posture for sitting. Like I saw that you're sitting like
Straight.
really straight. Yeah.
Because it's easy for me. It's easy for me to because I don't have a lot of tension in my body. I just have tension when I produce tension. But if I don't I don't have. So you should sit in a way that's comfortable for you. That's the first thing. Because if you sit like I do, it may cause stress because you feel muscle pain. So then it's not something nice. It's exercise. Do you want to have exercise now? Then try to sit like me. That's okay. But if you want to breathe to calm yourself down, you should make yourself comfortable, figure out what's good for me, close your eyes, go inside and feel how the air is going in, how the air is going out. Can I make it a little bit easier, a little bit better? Can I find a better position for myself? And for you, it's more here than here.
Yeah.
If you go here, you are able to breathe easier. And then it's a good position to practice pranayama, which is the
Breathing technique.
the philosophy about breathing in the yoga.
Okay. I need that because I'm a singer. So, breathing technique. Ngerti nggak?
Ngerti.
Oh, iya.
Ngerti. Kau udah bilang, saya
Kadang-
ngerti, cuma nggak ditemuin.
Kadang kayak dia melihat orang bahunya atau lututnya kan dia duduknya dia kakinya begini begitu dia akan bilang nih oh dia ada kenapa dia duduknya begitu ya jalannya begitu tidak lurus ya dia akan bilang oh itu dia adjustmentnya bukan karena dia tidak bisa ini kenyamanannya dia
Oh iya.
kalau
iya,
dia
iya,
duduk begini dia nyaman dia begini so body itu adjust untuk mencari kenyamanan so kadang orang suruh kita duduk kakinya buka ndak bisa bukan semua orang bisa ada orang disuruh nyimpang begini ndak bisa ada orang kan ada kan cewek-cewek yang ya Allah aku selalu admire banget ya cewek yang bisa duduk kakinya itu yang
Bersila.
enggak yang silang kaki
Oh, yang
tapi
begini.
lembut kayak princess queen gitu yang kakinya sama-sama panjang gitu coba dirimu
Begini.
enggak di atas
Gini.
ya kan ada tuh yang duduk yang jenis kakinya sampai ke bawah ayu kan
It's
kita nggak
because
bisa
paha saya terlalu besar sih, makanya dia nggak bisa.
sama makanya kan kita kan nggak bisa kalau disuruh duduk manis gitu
Jadi tensionnya
pahanya
ada.
menempel gitu nggak bisa bukanya susah, lengket. Nah, makanya cari posisi.
So actually, when I taking a picture, the photographer always said that my soldier is like
One-sided.
yeah. So should I fix it by my habit to make it more balanced, or
If you would be able to change it by your habit, then you would not have it because you don't like it, or
yeah?
see. So nerve point manipulation is about asking what's going wrong. So why is here in this area in your body so much tension is the right question. And if we ask that question, we figure out immediately that it comes from here.
Yeah.
So here is the problem. So if we want to fix something, we have to fix this, not the shoulder. If we release the muscle tension here, we will release the shoulder, and this is able to go down again.
Okay.
Because there has to be a muscle that's doing it to you.
Mungkin bisa langsung ke ini.
Practice?
Yes.
Practice it to me?
She asked if you can just show how what do you mean to her. Nggak salah dia megang.
Nggak apa-apa, nggak
It's
apa-apa.
okay if you don't
Bagaimana caranya berdiri nih?
Iya nggak apa-apa, berdiri aja, berdiri aja.
Oh.
Berdiri.
Okay, he just to show where is the point.
Okay. For her, it's a lot. Maybe because she's using this area a lot for singing. Yeah? So there's a lot of tension. There's a lot of information, and information always causes problems. So the first thing that I have to do, I have to help her body doing what he wants to do. I have your shoulder. So her body tries to lift up the shoulder. Now I lift it for her. So the muscles are able to let go a little. So then I go to the area where the problem is. You don't need to do something, I'm fine. So, and now I go and feel the nerve inside here and try to give him a little release. And that's the point we need. And then we are just needing hold it a little. And then the body tells me something more and I follow. Yeah, and she's changing already. And in a few seconds she will need to take a deep breath because her body tells her to. And then it comes, that the air goes away.
Biar.
Don't make me laugh.
Gimana?
Kayak di sini tuh dingin. I feel
Tangannya.
something cold.
When it been pressed.
Yeah.
Dan kalau yang kayak dia, sekarang kan dia release nih the tension. Oke, kan tadi ada tekanan di situ, jadi udah dirilis. Udah dirilis itu kan berarti kan sekarang blood flow-nya baru jalan gitu loh. Darahnya baru bisa jalan. Dan enggak bisa dia bilang mikir yang kayak dia tekan sini, "Oi, baik." Itu Tuhan. Kalau
Oke,
kita enggak
oke,
bisa.
oke.
Jadi dia akan sekarang darah tuh akan berjalan. Otomatis dia akan flow-nya bagus, makanya kita akan rasa enakan.
Iya,
Udah
iya,
bisa
iya.
kita move. It need the time, bukan kata dia udah buka berarti oke, kalian udah sembuh.
No, oke.
Nah,
Ya butuh bertahap lagi kan
ya,
berarti kan.
tapi enggak perlu dia yang buat lagi. Sekarang udah dibuka, berarti badannya sendiri yang akan ngatur sekarang.
Ah, oke.
So kayak air itu ke blok gitu kan. Sekarang udah dibuka bloknya itu. Sekarang bisa dia mengalir. Nah,
Oke.
gitu.
Enak.
Enak.
Enak. Ntar saya boleh.
Ya,
Iya, maruk.
Iya enggak, saya mau pengen.
dia enaknya nanya dulu, enaknya kena dipegang sama Niko atau enakan
Ah, itu
badannya
dia
udah.
maksudnya.
No.
Kalau lu kan
I
beda rasa.
I feel like something tense me right here, and then I feel my hand is cold. Like I feel like something is
Flowing.
flowing, and then it's not hurt anymore, especially right here because the other one is hurting me too, but I feel a little bit balanced, and it's not being forced, but I think I sit
Straight.
suddenly
straighter
straight, yeah.
than before.
So normally when he did it to me, also the same thing. If like when he see like I'm a little bit more slouching like this,
Yeah.
he will come and it will fix. Once it's fixed, it's automatically it will become straight. You
Yeah.
walk straight, you sit straight, you
Yeah.
stand straight. Secara otomatis itu, you're not forcing anymore.
Ngerti?
Now he's jealous.
And he wants to.
Yes. Kayaknya ntar praktek di sini ya.
Okay. What's
Enggak
apa
mau nanya, saya
lagi?
mau minum, silakan diminum.
Okay. If you need
No,
no,
it-
Oke.
okay, and then I heard that there is like a connection between our psychologist and the nerves. I heard it from
Apa?
him. Enggak, hubungannya antara psychology
Oh
with the
iya.
nerves.
Ya, apa maksudnya gini kan? Kayaknya kita sempat ngobrol ya waktu itu ya kayaknya. Ternyata ada hubungannya nih
for
dengan
mental healthness and
yes,
everything.
kayak gitu dengan ini gitu.
Yeah.
There's always a connection between everything because you are one living thing. So our nerve system is divided into two parts, the parasympathetic and the sympathetic nerve system. The parasympathetic nerve system is to calm yourself down, to digest, to build up, to repair. The sympathetic nerve system is to react when something comes to you, like fighting or flight. If there is some predator or whatever behind you, you use your sympathetic nerve system. The sympathetic nerve system is always combined to tension. If you have a lot of tension, you lose a lot of energy. But it also makes you looking stronger. If you use your parasympathetic nerve system, which I was allowing you for your left side, then it starts that the flow goes back into the normal position, that the muscle goes back to his normal tension and is not paining anymore. So it's to understand the combination in between the mind, the body, and the life. It's a real holistic thing, because if you just do something, it will make nothing. If you do the right thing, it will do what you want to do.
Okay. What do you need to know?
Nah, kalau dirimu tadi kan ngomongnya whether dia ada connection, ada.
Ada.
Jadi kalau kata untuk yang normal people, once is done, like kayak tadi udah dibenarin. So now she have to change her lifestyle.
Yeah.
Kalau kata dia sering angkat berat ataupun sering ini apalah disandang tas atau apa sehingga ini yang sakit, jangan dilakukan. Jadi dia itu kita bisa benarin, tapi nanti kalau lifestyle-nya masih sama, kan sama. Kita bisa benarin stress levelnya, tapi kan kalau bercampur dengan orang-orang negatif, tetap aja kan stresnya masih naik gitu. Nah, kalau ditanya ke dia tentang mental healthness tadi, connection-nya itu, kan mental healthness kan terbagi kepada dua lagi ya, yang bawaan dengan yang kena tekanan. Mungkin pressure daripada pekerjaan atau putus cinta. Sekarang kan itu kan tren kan, putus cinta jadi tekanan gitu. Nah, jadi kalau yang begitu kan harus release tensionnya. Itu kan semua kan ada tuh saraf-saraf yang membuat dia tertekan. Yang mana yang kayak tadi dia bilang kalau dari sini tuh kelenjar itu mengeluarkan hormon-hormon apa, dibenarin itu supaya lebih kalem. Kalau bilangnya tentang kalau yang trauma-trauma itu bisa. Kalau Nico kan dia belajarnya kan bukan hanya satu bidang ya. It's not just neuro ya. Dia juga belajar tentang hipno, dia juga belajar tentang acupuncture, dia juga belajar tentang tai chi, narik energi, give energy. Juga dia belajar tentang yang begitu-gitu, bukan hanya satu aja. Nah, yang susahnya yang sekarang kan orang-orang pada belajar satu teknik, satu metode, satu itu aja. Sedangkan kan kita kan belajarnya, ada this technique, ada this technique, ada this technique. Maybe this technique is better for this technique is better for this. But we have the whole knowledge, same. Jadi kalau dia mau ngomong ke dia about about tai chi or about acupuncture or about hypnosis yang create your subconscious mind to be better, dia ada all the knowledge. So you can ask, bukan hanya satu. That's why he be able to connect whether it's your mental problem or your nerve problem or your normal health problem like your heart problem, because he learned all this knowledge. And why he can say to you how you breathe and you can transfer the energy or create a better energy, because he also learned how to breathe properly, to absorb the energy and give the energy. So dia ada all that knowledge.
Oh, oke. Iya, makanya tadi kan kayak Nico bilang dia hanya dengan dia melihat dia udah tahu
Iya.
gitu. Karena memang bukan cuma satu aja yang dipelajarin ya.
Yeah.
Makanya belajar kalian.
Makanya belajar bahasa Inggris.
Belajar bahasa Inggris.
You say like, like, because you have the knowledge. When you see someone, you will know. Even by the position of them sitting, you will know what is wrong, where is wrong.
Yeah, a human is for me like a book. Every nerve is carrying your informations, and I know them, the nerves and their informations, and I see the informations inside of your body. So I know you when I see you, and that's good because that's what we all want. We want to be seen. We don't want to seek and then figure out by failure. We want to be successful.
Yeah.
So that was why I studied so hard. I wanted to understand life. I really wanted to understand it. Why it sometimes works and sometimes not. And there's always a reason behind it.
Oke. Tuh maksudnya tuh ya kalau misalnya mau tahu hidup itu jangan nongkrongnya di pantai, gitaran, minum kopi, belajar bro. Ya, tolong belajar. Ya kan?
Benar.
Iya, pengen tahu makna hidup jadi anak senja gimana sih?
Ya, biar baperan ceritanya. Mana tahu di tepi pantai dia dapat bule.
Nah, iya bener. Tipikal anak Lombok sekali gitu ya. Dari bule. Terus gimana?
Apa?
Tanya apa dong?
Kok aku?
Kayak
Bingung.
this is something new ya, something new
Iya,
yang
iya.
kita never expected. Maksudnya kalau daripada pandangan aku kan, this is something yang interesting karena tidak menggunakan obat,
Itu
tidak
dia.
menggunakan chemical, tidak menggunakan kesakitan, but we can make the changes. We can have a better life, hidup lebih sehat, more healthy. Without all this, selama ini kan, if you have a flu, go take the medicine, the flu will go away. Sedangkan it's a matter of you allowing the body to process, to allow certain things. Ya. Sekarang kan ada nih alternatif so that kita jangan kayak sakit sedikit harus. Terkadang kan ada orang tua ya dia takut anaknya sakit. Anak tuh tidak dibenarkan keluar. Oh anak saya kalau kena debu nanti pilek nanti
keluar.
ini. Habis tinggalkan anak tuh dibungkus dong dalam kresek biar tidak kena debu gitu kan. So kan, jadi kan harus diekspos anak itu ke debu supaya body will understand. Oh, this is debu. How do we protect ourselves from this? Bukan kata kita tidak mengenalkan dia sama sekali gitu. Ya sekarang kan beda. Oh, anak saya enggak bisa if dia kena debu ini habis dia gatal-gatal.
Iya.
Kadang ada juga kan ada lymph node itu kan ada yang kayak benjolan kecil di leher anak. Itu aja orang tua panik. Padahal itu adalah cara menunjukkan bahwa ada infeksi di dalam badan. Makanya itu sistem pertahanannya. Baik kita dari penyakit itu turun dah.
Oh iya.
Benjolan itu.
Anak saya pernah begitu,
Iya.
ada keluar benjolan kayak gitu.
Iya.
Dan saya berdua panik.
Ya.
Nah, ini.
Ya. Ini anak kelewatan besar.
Iya. Lagi benjol.
Iya.
Iya.
Dia ada dua tipe. Kalau satu tuh kita panggilnya lymph node, itu hanya sistem yang di dalam badan tuh berarti ada bakteri. Jadi dia itu sistem yang melawan bakteri tadi. Kedua itu memang ada yang tipenya ada
Tiroid
bentolan
gitu.
ya kayak bentolan gitu yang harus dioperasi kecil. Tapi sebenarnya tidak harus dioperasi, harus digoyang-goyang gitu nanti dia reduce. Kalau itu kan tidak sakit.
Ini kan saya kan juga riset ya semalam ya. Dan ini sangat sedikit sekali.
Coba tanya soalannya itu dalam bahasa Inggris gitu. Coba.
Mohon maaf ya, nggak bisa ini. Bahasa Sasak bau ya.
So I did research too before this podcast,
Yes.
and I can't find anything about nerve manipulation.
Very little they say.
Ya baru sedikit lah kayak gitu.
Yeah, because I was the one who developed it, and I have written some books, and I also put out wisdom with education. I educated a few people. I have had a YouTube channel and put it on wisdom there. But that's the thing. If I'm 70 years old and I wrote 20 books and all the world is talking about it, then you will figure out more and find more. But actually, if you want to know something about it, you have to come to me.
Another thing is like can we know knowledge is power and power scared people. Sometimes some things that is so great, that is so good, people will not wanted to know because if they know some certain area, like right now Nico is trying to educate that look, if you can understand your body well, you can make every part of your body well, then you don't have to take the medicine. Then yang pharmacy ini mau jual apa?
Ya.
Benar? So they also scared of that. So the information now, maybe after this Nico will do more YouTube channel, I don't know, to help educate, to help explain it better, you know.
But it's not about taking one thing away and putting the
Another
nerve point
thing.
manipulation in this. No, it won't take away the pharmacy, because pharmacy is developing all the time. And if the humans will develop with nerve point manipulation, there will be also a reason to have a smart and a fast solution, buy a pill to make you happier or to feel less pain or whatever, because it's always your decision what you're doing.
Yeah.
And there are different kind of fields, like also aesthetic medicine. If you don't need a surgery for your pain, okay, then you maybe need a surgery to look what you want to look like. I mean, you can go to gym to build yourself up, or you go to a doctor and it just
Make
is given to
operation,
you. So solutions are solutions. There's not one thing to take away some other thing. It's just there, and not everyone wants to have it, maybe because for some people it's too hard to think about their life and too hard to change life, and they will stick with their ibuprofen or whatever. But for the people who are seeking for a solution, that are not taking this pill anyway, for them it's nice.
Oke. Karena ada beberapa orang yang kayak gitu, ngerasa kalau sakit nggak harus minum obat. They shouldn't take the medicine, like even though they got fever, because they said that biarin aja antibodinya yang melawan sakitnya itu.
Kan if like what he say, if you understand what is the virus, you will be able to treat the virus kan. So it's the same. Ada orang kan kita kan udah kebiasaan ya, apalagi di sini ya. Sakit apa aja harus semuanya makan obat gitu semuanya.
Paracetamol lah gitu ya.
Ya, kalau masuk angin, masuk apa tuh harus minyak kayu putih.
Minyak kayu putih,
Kerokan,
Itulah
makan.
semua solusi untuk penyakit adalah minyak kayu putih. Kok aku jadi ambasadornya minyak kayu putih ya.
Iya, tapi ini udah brand umum kayaknya dah, nggak perlu
Ya,
disensor-sensor ya kayak
ya
paracetamol
benar.
ya.
Ya. Jadi kalau orang itu kan udah berpikirnya begitu. Jadi susah. Jadi kalau kita itu berpikir saya tidak mau makan obat. I don't want to take any chemical in my body. I want to treat my body like a temple. It's nice, it's clean, it's lighter. Then it's the choice. Kan choice tetap ada. Ada nerve manipulation, ada dokter, ada obat. So it's you choosing which that yang dirimu merasa nyaman untuk dirimu
Okay.
have it gitu.
Especially when it comes to fever, you need to ask, why is it there? It's a body reaction.
Iya.
And you need to ask others thing. How is this body reaction? Is this a little fever? Is this a high fever? If a fever gets 42.6 degrees, that's the border of life and death. If you have a higher fever than 42.6 degrees, you will die. And you are dumb if you don't reduce the temperature. So sometimes it's a combination of this and that, because just this will not rescue you, and thus just that will not rescue you. So sometimes it's good to have a pharmacy and a nerve point manipulation to get your ass out of this bad situation.
Oke, tapi kan kalau misalnya kita kayak gini ya, mungkin kita udah paham ilmunya nih, itu misalnya kita udah paham ilmunya, ngerti. Cuma kan, apalagi kalau laki-laki ya, laki-laki kalau udah kena demam tuh kayak mau mati rasanya.
Iya, lembeknya ya.
Kenapa sih?
Memang
Biasanya kalau
begitu.
cowok tuh lebih manja gitu kalau sakit.
Pemenang sinetron.
Enggak, tapi bener lah ini.
Drama.
Kamu kalau demam gimana? Pasti kan ini mama membelai kalau demam. Nah, iya bener.
Sampai ada yang nggak balas chat juga.
Iya aku.
Kalau sakit lebih baik ambil sepeda, wes.
Oh,
Oke.
gitu.
Nah, tapi kan masalahnya kayak demam lah. Demam mungkin aja perkara kayaknya permasalahan sakit yang umum lah ya, karena reaksi demam itu kan karena ada virus lah ya, pada akhirnya tubuh bereaksi seperti itu. Kita butuh. Cuma kan kalau udah ngerasa demam tuh kan nggak tahu mau mikir gimana gitu.
Kadang itu lebay ya. Kita juga
Iya.
demam gitu loh. Belum lagi kita demam, kita disuruh ngurus anak, belum lagi
Iya.
buat itu, buat ini
Period
gitu.
juga
Iya,
kan.
Laki-laki tuh kalau mendingan dia kena sobek daripada dia kena demam.
Aku rasa kalian itu yang paling parah mungkin sakit gigi ya.
Enggak, saya nggak milih sakit sih.
Aduh.
Merana kalau sakit gigi.
Ini penonton ada yang mau tanya nggak? Pakai bahasa Indonesia dah. Saya tahu kalian nggak bisa bahasa Inggris.
Ya,
Sama kayak
apa
saya.
yang mau ditanya?
Ada yang mau tanya
Coba.
nggak?
Ada yang putus cinta, kita tukar subjek sekarang.
Aduh, begitu.
Mam, ada
So,
yang
dia
mau tanya, Mam?
bagaimana bisa build body kayak Om Niko gitu,
Iya,
tanya.
apalagi Om Niko kan nggak
Nggak
nge-gym kan?
Dia nggak nge-gym.
Ya nge-gym.
Oh yeah, what's
How do you do? How you
like-
build your body like
yeah.
this without lifting weight?
I mean, I was lifting weight as I was young, and I still have my muscles, so you are not using them when you are quitting to lift weights. Right now, I just exercise yoga, tai chi, and body weight exercises. But I started to have another gym experience in my life like a few days ago. I went to a gym and was using some iron to see how it is to be back in this field again. I mean, it's more than 10 years I haven't been in. And it's nice to see that I don't lose any strength. No, I'm much, much stronger. So I'm playing with the weights I was exercising before. There's no reason to use them for me. But there's a big reason to face gravity. This is our biggest playground, Earth. We are living on a Earth, and this Earth has some forces like gravity. There are trees to climb up, there are mountains to hike, and this is exercising, living, going into the ocean, dive deep, swim, explore your lung capacity, explore your abilities to stand on one leg, explore your ability to do Tai Chi. That improves your body like I have improved mine.
Ya kesimpulannya berarti sebenarnya kita nggak perlu ke situ ya.
Iya.
Ke tempat nge-gym ya. Sebenarnya
Iya.
di alam ini udah memberikan
Banyak,
banyak
ya.
hal ya.
Terutama kalau kita itu aimnya itu the right muscle gitu. Kan kalau kita benar tahu, oh kadang kan orang ngangkat berat dia ngangkat ya. Tapi kan dia mau binanya yang apalah namanya bicep kayak apa.
Bicep,
Tapi kan kalau caranya salah kan dia tidak aimnya yang di sini, aimnya di sini gitu. Jadi if you do in the right way, you don't need to struggle and doing it harder, sama kan kayak kita climb.
Ya, ya,
Climbing
ya, ya.
kan sebenarnya kan orang berpikir kita itu narik badan, kita climb kan kita tarik. Sebenarnya tidak, kaki yang gerak kan, kaki yang nolak untuk badannya naik. Jadi kita tidak pernah yang kram-kram di tangan karena bukan tangannya yang narik.
Iya, iya, iya.
Kakinya
Kekuatan
yang
dari
nolak,
kakinya.
ya kakinya diluruskan, dia akan capek. Nanti kakinya tekuk lagi kan. Bila kita luruskan, kita badannya kan naik. Kita capek lagi. Yang di ide orang-orang yang mula baru manjat tebing gitu kan, oh kita itu harus manjat itu upper body kita harus narik
Iya.
badan kita harus narik beban badan. Salah. Dia tuh dari kaki aja dia nolak, berdiri naik. Dia tekuk lagi di satu tempat, tekuk berdiri naik gitu.
Ya, iya kan, iya kayak tadi. Sebenarnya orang manjat tebing itu bukan otot ini dari sini
Iya.
kaki semua kan berfungsi kan.
Ya,
Kayak gitu, iya,
tapi
iya.
kan tidak perlu struggle untuk narik kan kakinya berfungsi. Nih, kalau kalian lupa pertanyaannya tak bagi satu pertanyaan.
Oke.
Coba nanya ya, gimana ya bule bisa pakai sarung pergi podcast coba. Tengok orang-orang luar ini pakai baju adat semua ini. Kalian ini mana baju adatnya? Ya, kan lihat, ya, kan lihat dia pakai sarung, gua pakai adat gitu. Ah, mana nih?
I asked him about the outfit today.
Yeah.
And he said that just wear what you want.
Ya.
Iya,
And
saya udah
actually,
jelasin.
I'm not yet take my laundry. And this is what I have.
Tapi saya membawa satu ini bukan produk ya, ini sebuah kebanggaan nih.
Apa itu?
Flow Bamora.
Apa itu?
Ini untuk kebanggaan orang Nusa Tenggara Timur lah.
Apa itu?
Flow Bamora tuh Flores, Sumba, Flow Bamora, ya itulah pokoknya dia persingkatan.
Tadi aku tuh dibagi perkataan itu apa tuh? Sambo.
Sasambo.
Sasambo.
Ya, apa tuh
Sasak
sasak?
sama
Sasak sama
Wambojo.
Kenapa kalian ini semua pakai ini?
No, bukan. Maksudnya ini sebuah like a pride to ya daerah saya gitu.
Oke.
Nggak mesti hanya sarung, tapi ada sebuah kebanggaan.
Oke lah,
saya
besok
membawa ya.
besok ingatkan aku ya kalau kita podcast lagi bawa bendera Malaysia.
Waduh.
Biar kita ada proud di sini.
Yes.
Oke.
Rencananya saya mau pakai jersey Jerman cuma nggak ketemu.
He actually wanted to wear a German jersey for football to come and he didn't find it.
Iya, saya ada jersey Jerman cuma nggak ketemu. Bongkar nggak ketemu ya, gagal.
Saya sebenarnya mau bawa boneka Upin Ipin saya.
Ya, ini satu ini benar-benar mencari perang mereka di RRI ini.
Oke.
No.
Oke, di sini kan that's you?
Yeah, that's
Yes.
right.
Oke. Ini di Jerman berarti.
Where is it?
That was on a speaking tournament in Germany.
Ya, in German.
Iya, ini berarti kayak prakteknya
Ya,
Nico berarti ya.
Premium.
Ada rencana untuk ke Indonesia? Sudah.
Now we are in Indonesia. Now he is in Indonesia under premium health project. So stay tuned and wait for the premium health project.
I can help you.
Promote.
Iya, saya langsung bahasa Inggris ya.
Yeah, I can help you promote, but you have to fix my brain. Yeah.
Yes, that's point.
Yeah. So now he's in Indonesia. Okay, we are preparing everything to get it ready and done. One is done. Kita akan see how we can help better, explain better, educate better to the society about this knowledge. This knowledge is not about nerve manipulation only. This knowledge is about how you can have a better lifestyle. Why I'm talking is like my company. Talk, Nico. What is Premium Health Project?
Premium Health Project is all about knowledge. It's about the medical knowledge that we have already and the improvement of this knowledge, because the medical field is just theory and we need to have practice. And if you know, for example, about temperature, 42.6 degrees is the border of going to be death. It's a too high temperature. But 39 degree, for example, is the perfect temperature for your immune system to work. So, take your temperature, look what your fever is doing, where you are at. Do you need to reduce it? Do you need to maybe higher it a little? Do you need to cover, to wear more? Then it makes more sense to see what's going on and to support the body where it's necessary. And that's what it's all about, to support where it is necessary. Not just doing something for doing something, doing the right thing. And for this, it's more about anatomy, it's more about biology, physics, and how the things are working. I mean, we are a living architecture. We have a structure. There's a reason behind it. And if we understand how we are functioning, we are able to guide ourselves to a better life. And then when we have a better life, it's more easy to face problems, whatever comes up.
Wow.
Harus
that's
kita
amazing.
jadikan konten TikTok. Do you know if your fever is 39, you should blah blah blah. Can become a good TikTok content.
Yes.
Yeah, then we make like do you know content, huh?
Do you know?
Yeah, trivia
Bisa
content.
jadi ini juga nanti
Yeah,
untuk promo
YouTube,
podcast ini kan?
yeah.
Yes. Okay.
So, ke knowledge.
Di mana mau di ini?
Di KLU. Tempatnya kita buat di KLU.
Do you, for example, know that the Harvard University was figuring out 2013 already that the perfect amount of nutrition is 15 meals a week
15 meals a week.
for a male, yeah.
Ya, a week berarti seminggu 15.
50, 15 or 50?
15. If it gets more,
15.
you are forcing your body with inflammation.
Wow.
Oke.
Jadi kita harus berhitung 15 bagi 7.
Dua lebih sedikit. Ini guru matematika nih ngajar ini, tar lagi gua ngajar itu gitu ngajar ini.
Ya, 2 bagi 7, ya itu
Iya,
dah,
dua,
2 setengah lah.
Ya, kurang dari 2,5 ya.
Oke. Itu maksudnya kebutuhan kita untuk makan.
That is the need for meal.
Yeah, and any kind of digestion. It's about the digestive system, and you know, they're all muscles. Your stomach is a muscle. Your gut is a muscle. And these muscles have to rest as well. Your hormone producing systems, like the pancreas, it can't produce it all the time and all the time and all the time and all the time. It has to rest. So if you are feeding yourself all the day, when does your belly get the ability to rest? So it's no wonder that we are having so many sick bellies, that we are having so many gas problems and stuff like this, because it's overworked.
Okay.
Okay. I want to ask,
Yes.
Is it okay to have a meal in the midnight?
You can have whenever you want to have a meal.
But
I mean, if you start at 7 o'clock in the morning and you are eating the next time at 9 and then 11 and at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and then at 9 and at 10 again and then at midnight, it's maybe not a good decision to eat at midnight. But if you're not eating all the day and you are exercising and you are living life and then you come home at midnight,
And you
why
eat.
not eating?
Yeah. So it's not about the time. It's like if you let them rest enough, then they can work. But if you keep eating, makan terus kan, dia tidak punya resting time gitu loh. So now if like dirimu cuma mau makan sekali, kan orang bilang after 6 jangan makan, kan itu kan.
Ya.
Tapi kan it's okay kalau udah 1 hari ndak makan, tiba-tiba mau makan jam 8, jam 9 kan enggak apa-apa, karena bukan seharian perut itu bekerja. Yang tidak dibagi makan setelah jam 6 kan, dari pagi makannya tidak berhenti sampai jam 6. Dan after 6 mau makan lagi. Digestnya bagaimana bekerja terus gitu.
It's
Itu
the
maksudnya.
same with the intermediate fasting. It's not about your watch, it's about your body.
Oke, so sebenarnya Eneng agak penasaran sama topik yang ini tadi. Katanya Nico can heal the trauma by
By slapping? I can. Beli sendal swallow itu kan, slap kiri, slap kanan. Kalau belum sadar, oke, kita
so
coba
how it
trauma.
works gitu, how it works
How it work to heal the trauma.
the
Okay.
trauma ya.
Healing is a big word. That I need to say. Healing is a big word. And the trauma is a big thing. So I can see your traumas. And I can help you to force them to come out. And when they are coming out, you are losing this energy of the trauma, which is holding you back, and you are able to overcome it. That's one method. It's a thing of hypnosis and a little bit of facing NLP, which is also used in psychology. But there's another way as well. All the informations inside of us are stored somewhere. In the brain is one part, but our neurons connecting, they are all connected. So if I say a word like bread, you are having this word and you're having a picture. You maybe have a smell and maybe also a person which is doing a really good one. So there are different neurons which are wiring and firing together. Same with trauma. Trauma is something that scares you. And if you are scared, you're holding your breath. So most likely you find a trauma in the brain and somewhere in the diaphragm. So if you want to heal a special trauma, we just need to look where your breathing is stucking, where it's not able to breathe like nice and have a good flow and smooth. There is something that does not want to work. And there we are starting to fix. And if we are smoothing the area around the trauma, it gets easier for you to process it. Because the trauma is not an enemy, it's something inside you that you haven't processed well. It's like digestion. It needs time and also the ability. Because if you have time to digest, but you are always putting more in, there's no time to digest. If you give the time and the ability, the surrounding, then it is possible.
Aku tambah di situ ya. Indonesia ini banyaknya baperan. Jadi trauma itu is like perkataan yang di over glorifiedkan dan besar. Putus cinta aja kalian panggilnya apa? Trauma. Ditinggal nikah aja kalian panggil trauma. Yang trauma tuh kayak kena pemerkosaan, kena pukul, KDRT. That's trauma. Sekadar kalian tuh ditinggalkan di pelaminan, nikah sama orang lain, that's not trauma. Kalau trauma yang gitu, ambil aja sendal swallow itu ditampar aja ke mukanya biar sadar.
Beres dah sebenarnya
Wake
ya.
up, ya. Jadi
Wake up, man.
Ya, ya. Dan itu different type of trauma. Dan yang susahnya dengan trauma adalah move on. Accept dulu, terima dulu. Ini loh, orang tua saya lahir dalam orang tua yang sering pukul saya. Oke. Accept the fact orang tuamu memang begitu. Oke. Move on. Jalan. Nggak usah kamu yang baperan. Ya sampai udah kamu anak 5 masih dulu kan orang tua saya ya pukul saya ya setiap hari. Anakmu udah 5. Apalagi diceritakan tentang ini? Cerita dah tentang lain. Nah, kalau yang kata dirimu masih menyimpan itu, kalau kayak Niko itu kan tadi nanti ditarik keluar. Kalau kayak cara aku yang mainnya di psikolog kan, dunia ini tidak segampang yang kalian pikir, bukan sunshine and blue sky. Oke? Hadapi, ini dunia kejam, kuat, harus kuat, nggak bisa jadi generasi strawberry yang cepat penyok. Nah, jadi tarik nafas, tampar muka kiri kanan 2 kali, keluar pintu itu udah, dan selesai.
That's what I did.
Ya, tarik nafas, buang hingus,
Usapkan padanya.
ready, ya. That's how it should be, ya.
I'm ready fight today.
Ya, kemudian pulang nangis.
Lagi.
Ya, balik lagi. Ya. It's like bagaimana benar-benar dirimu menerima hakikat hidup itu. Hidup itu tidak gampang. Semuanya udah ditakdirkan. Kalian tuh tidak bisa ngatur-ngatur. Ngapain kalian susah-susah? Saya mau jadi pilot, saya mau jadi dokter, saya mau jadi ini. Ngapain? Tuhan itu udah tulis nih takdirmu sampai hari kamu mati itu udah ditulis. Udah ditulis kamu itu akan jadi tukang pembersih di sekolah A. Oke. Terima. Oke, jalanin, rezeki saya udah cukup. Ada kan yang ngomong tentang rezeki tidak cukup ya. Tuhan itu tahu ya kebutuhanmu. Dia bagi rezeki itu sesuai kebutuhan. Jadi kalau dia merasa kamu cuma butuh 500.000 untuk cukup beli beras dan minyak dan telur untuk makan sebulan, dia merasa itu cukup untuk kamu. Dia bagi kamu rezeki 500.000. Yang salahnya, di saat kamu dapat 500.000 ini, kamu start, bagus ya kalung ini. Bagus ya. Kemudian, ya saya tidak punya uang makan, nak makan anak-anak saya. Padahal kalian tuh anak itu, beli dah jajan, beli dah susu. Padahal kan itu kan tidak termasuk dalam aturan rezekinya Tuhan tadi.
Oke.
Ya.
Budgeting di luar pikiran Tuhan.
Ya, kita yang ngatur-ngatur. Maksudnya ngapain kita ngatur-ngatur? Tuhan itu tidak mungkin mencoba kalian tuh di luar batas gitu kan.
Betul.
Dia udah tahu, udah mampu. Kalau nanti besok udah tidak mampu, berserah lagi ke dia. Pasrah benar-benar. Jangan bilang, ya Tuhan saya pasrah. Tapi ya kalau Tuhan bisa bagi saya 10 juta sekarang kan bagus. Jangan begitu, itu bukan pasrah namanya gitu. Ikhlasin. Nanti kan dia bagi sesuai dia merasa kebutuhanmu gitu.
Oke.
Ini beda topik ya.
Kain selain psikolog dia juga pakar ekonomi sekarang.
ya benar.
Kan biar banyak belajarnya.
Iya, benar.
Belum kalian lihat dompet aku sekarang, aku pakai dompet yang ada zip gitu, yang satu
dibagi-bagi.
tabungan, ya tabungan, uang bayar rumah harian, ini gitu.
Beli gas.
Iya, benar.
Ya benar.
Nanti
Kan
saya akan
dompet
belajar.
kemana ya?
Oke, sebelum kita tutup ini, mungkin ada dari Niko mungkin untuk kayak ya kasih tahu lah ke yang nonton gitu ya tentang ini tuh sebenarnya hal yang bisa dilakukan oleh semua orang lah kayak gitu. Mungkin boleh translator?
Okay, ada
Yeah,
macam.
okay.
Ada macam. So, Nico, can you tell maybe the viewers about what tadi?
Ya, tentang bahwa yang ini tuh nggak gampang gitu. Kita bisa memperbaiki diri kita sendiri dengan apa yang
Dengan self awareness tadi.
Yes.
Okay, the viewer that actually what you tell us actually we can do it to ourselves actually. I mean, can you maybe give us some like
Tips.
Yeah, tips.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one really important thing is be patient with yourself. You wake up and you feel weak. Why are you forcing yourself with a pill or something to get rid of the weakness? Maybe it's a perfect day to do not so much. You wake up and you feel a lot of energy. Maybe it's a perfect day to work out. So go with the flow means use what's coming up. That's one important thing. Another thing, don't follow your fear, follow your heart. Fear tells you a lot what not to do and how to react and how to be and what to know and what not to know. But your heart is here, always. Your heart can't beat for tomorrow. Your heart can't beat for yesterday. Your heart has to beat for now. But your mind can beat tomorrow, next week, last week, wherever. Your fears are always in the future. They're never here in the moment.
Yeah.
They are not good advisors. Your heart will advise you what to do right now. It's also go with the flow. You feel something, you should do something. You should feel something, you should not think about it 3 years and then doing it, because that might be too late. The third thing, be gently with yourself and all the people surrounding you. That means take yourself with gratitude and also the people that are coming up. Also people which might tell you something you don't want to know. But it's your body. It's your life. And if they tell you something that you don't like, it has something to do with you. So be gently with these informations. Take them, leave them for now, and later on you might figure out what's going on. Same if you wish for something. Be gently with it. Don't go crazy all the time with everything. Oh, now I have to do a diet. I go crazy. I never eat ice cream again. No, be gently. Reduce it slowly, slowly, step by step. You will reach the goal.
Oke, jadi intinya harus sabar dan lembut sama diri sendiri. Kadang kita mungkin terlalu
Keras.
merasa terburu-buru harus segera. We have to be like this in hurry, so we force ourselves, and that's not. We
Not
have
the
to
right
do
way,
the
yeah.
right thing
If
to
you
do.
force yourself, you're fighting with yourself. If you're fighting with yourself, you're fighting against yourself. Who should win?
No one,
Right.
no one win. Okay, the conclusion is.
Ya itulah pokoknya. Oke, thank you yang nonton. Terima kasih, thank you Nico. Terima kasih.
Thank you.
Terima kasih in Germany.
Danke.
Danke.
Vielen Dank.
Danke. Terima kasih.
Sama-sama. Udah
Terima
kita
kasih.
Oke, terima kasih dan kita tutup podcast ini. After this, Nico fix my back pain. Bye.
Bye.